Watch Paranormal Short Session 20 by Keith Evans. I'm at the Chestnut Street Cemtery, Apalachicola, Florida. Today is the 30th of June, 2023. It is a Friday. I'm using my C5 thermal camera, and I'm taking a look at, looks like Ella Murat at her tombstone. It's the only Murat tombstone here, so looks like the little flower thing that's turned upside down looks like that bell-shaped item in the corner. It looked like that got broken off. I haven't seen any unusual cool areas or any unusual warm areas near Ella Murat, near her tombstone or her grave cradle. So I'm gonna move on over here to I guess you could say the Huffman plot. There's at least three Huffmans here. One's rather early or recent, so I'm going to leave that be. But the other Huffmans, I'm going to explore their tombstones. Frederick Huffman, as you can see there. I didn't see any unusual cold or warm spots here. He does have a little footstone that's okay. Now, Bridget Huffman, I haven't seen any unusual cold or warm spots near her tombstone or her footstone. And her footstone, as you can see down there, it's broken off. You can see what's left of it. It may be under there someplace, but you're gonna have to unofficially dig for it to glue it back on, and I don't have permission to do that. So, all right, with no unexplained cold spots or unexplained warm spots, I think I'll go ahead and move on to using the Ovilus Vb. I want to look this over good. That's the tree that's beside Bridget Huffman's tombstone. See that there? Of course, the shady area is going to be kind of purple because it's cooler. And the areas in the background that have sunlight are going to be yellow. Some little orange. You can see we got a little gnat trying to climb into my mouth. No, it's not paranormal. You can see the yellow area there is probably a little over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. It's hot out today. I'm glad I'm in the shade. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off this C5 FLIR camera. It's a thermal camera. And I'm going to get out my Ovilus Vb. Here's my Ovilus Vb. It's off. Turn the power on. Gonna choose ABC in the upper corner. What is your name? I like to know everyone's name. Map. M-A-P. So was there a map on your little footstone that got broken off? Not. Is that negative? There was no mat on your map, MAP, on your tombstone that got broken off. It's KNOT, but my spelling's not good, so I think they meant negative, not a map on the little footstone got broken off. Mrs. Huffman, are you here today? Mrs. Bridget Huffman. Born June 20th, 1830, and passed away February 21st, 1905. I was wondering if you were here today. What did you like, Mrs. Huffman, most about Apalachicola? So there are my two questions for this paranormal session. For each ghost and spirit that talks to me, please give me your name, whatever name you like. First, last name, middle, initials, whatever you like, feel comfortable giving. Also, I want to tell the ghosts and spirits that I'm going to be using the short promos on advertising my YouTube channel and my book on Instagram and Facebook. I'm going to show the entirety of my paranormal short session on my YouTube channel, which is called Paranormal Short Sessions by Keith Evans. So if you're a ghost or spirit and you don't want any part of that, then just don't choose any words from my Ovilus Vb and don't materialize so my camera can pick you up. And so far, I haven't noticed any thermal images that were unexplained, so you're safe there if you choose not to be noticed for this, video that's going to be on YouTube. All right. Am I right about the map and the knot, or are my conclusions totally wrong? Fill me in so I can correct myself. As a paranormal researcher, whatever data you get, whether it's a scratch, which is very rare and usually not, anywhere near life-threatening. It's almost like a sunburn that goes away within 15 minutes, but it don't feel as bad as a sunburn. Any way that ghosts communicate with you, out-of-body voice, which is very rare for me, taking energy out of the environment, causing an unexplained cold spot. All these are ways that the ghosts get your attention or communicate with you. So you got to interpret that. And I feel everyone interprets it differently. Everyone comes to this paranormal short session channel with a different background, and whatever their background is, that's going to add into their interpretation. I've been doing paranormal research in some primitive way since I was 4 years old. So I never had bad experiences. All my experiences have been helpful, if not ghosts bending over backwards to help me. So if your experiences with ghosts and spirits are good, you're going to probably interpret the words totally different than if your experience with ghosts or spirits is a negative one. And some people think every unexplained knock is a ghost or spirit trying to torture them or kill them, and it's not. Ghosts and spirits always make knocking sounds when they enter a room. They go through different medium, from the air to whatever your wall is, a brick wall, plaster wall, back out to the air, and that makes a knock, a crack, a popping sound. So you don't need to be afraid of that. And that's my speech for today. All right, we're not getting any more words. Mr. Frederick Huffman, what type of work did you do when you lived in Panama City? Apalachicola. I don't think Panama City was even there until, sometime after World War II. I might be wrong. is mainly the old town of St. Andrew, which is like a little port town near Hathaway Bridge. If you ever take 98 into Panama City Beach. Bridget Huffman, did you ever play the card game Bridge? Did you like the card game Bridge? Did you know that Kathleen Hayes loved to play bridge? During the winter time, she was, I guess you could call it a bridge club, where they met once a week to play bridge. Mr. Huffman, where were you born? Mrs. Huffman, where were you born? Do ghosts and spirits feel the heat of the day? Mr. and Mrs. Huffman, if you were alive today, what would you say to Keith Evans? Right, just in case Mr. and Mrs. Huffman's not here today, they might be exploring the Alps or whatever in some higher region of the mountains, someplace in the world. I would like to ask any ghost or spirit that may have known the Huffman family if they know any of the questions that I've asked so far, like what did they enjoy doing or what did they like most about Apalachicola? And also, what type of work did they do in Apalachicola for Mr. Huffman? And if Mrs. Huffman didn't work, then did she like the card game bridge? Any relatives or good friends of theirs that are here that would like to answer? If so, chime in. Well, I don't seem to be getting much here. For those that say the Ovilus Vb is just a constant squawking, noisy thing that randomly chooses words. Not so. 2 words, and I've been here, what? A little over 20 minutes. Now, this one says Baby Gray, September 6, 1926. I imagine the child passed away on his birth date, and he's in the Huffman family plot. So I'd imagine he was a Huffman. But if I'm wrong, let me know what your last name was, please. Seems like that's something that everyone would like to get straight if you're doing paranormal research. 9. Sound like it said 9. All right, it says digit 9. All right, the digit 9. Well, are there any last names that sound like 9? I'm trying to think. Isn't the German word for no 9? I might be wrong. If you know for sure, correct me down here in the comments. Baby Gray. Can you tell me what your last name? Well, it would still be your last name, but what it was when you were alive? Still your last name even though you're dead, so nothing changes that way. Right, baby Gray? Sometimes we act like when people pass away that that's it. They no longer exist in any form, but I feel that ghosts and spirits exist in an electromagnetic form. They just have a rough time trying to communicate with the living. And when they do communicate, most people get frightened. So it's darn if they do, darn if they don't. But I'm not that way if you want to communicate. Maybe the person known or the spirit known as Gray has been doing other things this morning and used all their energy up, and it's going to take a while. Most of my paranormal short sessions don't last much more than 30 minutes. So maybe in the future we'll come back to you, baby Gray. All right, let's go over here and take a look at Murat, spelled M-U-R-A-T. It's Ella, E-L-L-A, or Ella, I'm sorry. That looks like Florence, F-L-O-R-E-N-C-E, wife of William A. Murat. She's born February 19th, 1881, passed away January 1st, 1902. That's an interesting tombstone. You can check out the words are kind of like written on a scroll, like a piece of paper that someone scrolled out. It's got the last name at the bottom. It's got a base stone that's sitting on top of looks like it was brick covered with some type of mortar. And the little grave cradle has 4 sides to it. A flattened side down there where it has a broken flower vase, which is that bell-looking thing turned upside down. And then it's a 4-sided tombstone. It's got the, I guess, the brick wall-looking stones on the surface of the tombstone all the way around, which is rather neat. Mrs. Murat, I'm using my Ovilus Vb today, and I'm hoping you'll use your energy to answer some of my questions. What did you like most about Apalachicola, Mrs. Murat? Take a closer look. Yep, 9 is a digit. It's rare to get a digit. Most of the time when it says 9, you get N-I-N-E. So, Mrs. Murat, did you go by Ella or Florence? Or did you have a nickname? If so, could you give me that nickname or what name you went by? That's a slow day. It's hot out today. There's very little breeze. I'll give you a 360 of the sky. There's not too many clouds in the sky. Looks like there's some haze. So, well, Mrs. Murat, if you want to choose some other forms of communication, if you want to use disembodied voice, you can say my name. My first name is Keith. So if you want to say my name, go ahead. We'll listen. Mrs. Murat, can you make a knocking sound any way that you choose on your tombstone? And I'll come over here so it picks up the sound. Just make a knocking sound. I'm not going to get so close that it looks like I'm doing it. I'm going to be far away. As you can see, there's nobody on the other side. Well, I think that was me making steps, quick steps. If that was you that made the knocking sound, Mrs. Murat, can you do it again? Huh. That sounds like some very slight sound near the tombstone. Mrs. Murat, can you do that again?